7 sacks, 11 hits on the quarterback, and 9 tackles for loss, plus 2 interceptions for the Houston Texans defense. So they'll regroup, get in very early Monday morning at Halasaw and start work on the Indianapolis Colts and a trip back to Indy for Matt Eberflus and the Bears at 1-1. All right, we're going to turn it over. We're going to get to Coach Eberflus a bit later on here in the postgame. We'll turn it over now to Peggy Kaczynski and Jurko for the postgame coverage from the studio, guys.
All right, JJ, thank you very much. A tough night for the Bears at Energy Stadium in Houston, but Jurko, a tougher night for the offensive line, for a group that GM Ryan Poles thought going into the season was his best and deepest he's ever had. There are some real problems here. Caleb Williams was running for safety.
He was under siege. That's what he was. I thought that the interior guys would be able to handle it better, and I thought the strength of what Houston was going to bring was going to come from the outside, and I thought we were in a better position to handle it. We weren't. We were not in a better position to handle it. It was red rum. Murder, backwards, red rum, going after the quarterback. I think the Bears quite lucky that they actually their quarterback got out of this game healthy. Relatively speaking, hopefully he will be healthy come tomorrow after bumps and bruises. After you take the plane flight home, he gets a night's sleep. I hope he wakes up in the morning. He's 100% healthy. Darnell Wright did not play well today. Braxton Jones did not play well today. The interior three did not play well. It's funny. I told Carmen early in the week, I said, boy, if I were going to attack this Bears offensive line, I'd cover all 5 during the pass rush. And that's
exactly what they did.
And then they stunned it off of that. And then it was just
5 and 6 all game.
It didn't make a difference. And your quarterback's not in a position right now early enough, nor are your receivers, or the confidence they have in each other to be able to run whatever they need to run off of that. And if you're going to run the whole year, even with the positive and the big yards that were being gained on the final 2 series, you throw 37 balls, you only have 174 yards. It's 5 yards an attempt. The good teams aren't at 5 yards of attempt. You've got to be a little bit better than that. Defensively, it put a smile on my face. This reminds me of the late 70s, where the defense came out and kicked ass and did the best they can, and they're going to try to put points on the board. But ultimately, at the end of the day, your quarterback's going to have the ball in his hand. He's got to make a play, or he's got to make a number of plays. And unfortunately for him, either he couldn't today, or the pass rush was putting him in such a precarious position that it did not allow him to be able to be accurate as he possibly could be. But, everybody thought this was going to be a tough game. Everybody probably had this one marked down as a loss. I had this as a loss for the Chicago Bears, looking at the schedule at the beginning of the year. Here's the crappy part, Peggy. You're going to be in every single game this year. You're in this game.
Because of the defense.
Right. Gordon got a chance to pick off a ball. It looked like he might have. He gets up and he runs into the end zone. There's your defensive touchdown you need. I don't know if the defense was going to be able to keep them in front. But they go back and they look at it and they see that it hit the ground. You're going to be in every game. And then you're going to be dependent upon this offense to do something for you. And we're back to where square one is always. It is. Does the quarterback and the offense, and I say the quarterback, and I'm not judging the quarterback today. 3 years to judge the quarterback. But can the quarterback and can the offense go ahead and bring you back in the fourth quarter in a 6-point deficit to win a ball game for you? We've never answered that question. We've been asking that question for the better part since 2018. Here we are 7 years later, and it is 7 years later. Sounds like 6, but it's 7. And we still don't have a legitimate answer to that question. And I know we're at the infancy of this quarterback, Caleb Williams, and it's certainly not fair during the regular season here to pick and poke at his game, but I feel sorry. And he's not as mobile. He's mobile.
No.
But he's not as mobile as Justin Fields. Justin Fields might have been able to cover for your guys just a little bit with his mobility and say, he couldn't read it. He had to run. But this offensive line is pitiful. Pitiful. 5 blocks of silly putty, as Danny Mac once referred to the Chicago Bears offensive line. 5 blocks of granite, my ass. They look like 5 blocks of silly putty. And it's going to get players hurt. And it's unfortunate. I mean, and now the whole lot of them, all of them, across the board, every single one of them. And I don't know what Everett's deal is or who thinks Everett could play or what's going on. But if you're going to be in and brought in as the coach's pet, if you're brought in here as the coach's pet, not Eberflus, the offense coordinator, if you're going to be brought in as his pet, well, you better make your offense coordinator look good when he puts you in there and gives you a chance to catch some balls and do some stuff. Because you're not getting it done, young man. So, I mean, that's where we find ourselves. That's where we find ourselves. I'd smile at the defense. The Bears are going to have a chance to beat the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. Hopefully they have the lead, and it's responsibility of the Bears defense to hold on to it. That's all I could say.
On 12 Houston possessions, the Bears defense allowed just 1 touchdown, 4 field goals. They forced a fumble, got 3 sacks, and I believe they finished 4 of 14, allowing only 4 third down conversions on 14 Houston attempts. The defense played well.
And the second half, they really stepped that up too.
Yes. But I want to get back to the offense for a second here. So good. So going into this game, everyone thought you got to get the run game going. You got to run against Houston. And DeAndre Swift had 14 carries for 18 yards, a 1.3 yard per carry average. Caleb Williams was your leading rusher with 44 yards. There were glimpses of last year. There were glimpses of Justin Fields. And now you know why back-to-back interceptions thrown on back-to-back drives. He was running for his life. He was running to escape the pressure. He was trying to make things happen. They can't get a running game going. I thought the running game was supposed to be the best thing that this offensive line was able to do. It was the easiest thing for them to do.
It's not. It once was, but with this offense coordinator and the way he calls plays and or the way the runs that they've got out there, they're not conducive to whatever this offensive line was once best at. And that's where you're at. I mean, I looked at it, 1.3, 1.5 for Herbert. This is a guy that averages almost 5 yards a carry in his career. And here he is in this offense, 1.5 a carry.
We didn't see them go to target Cole Kmet until the second half. Gerald Everett was targeted twice out of 3 of his targets. Twice were in the first half. He finished with 1 yard. Gerald Everett finished with 1 yard. DJ Moore, 6. He was your leading receiver, targeted 10 times. He finishes with 53 yards, a long of 19 yards. Roma Dunze was targeted 5 times. He had 2 catches for 33 yards. On the good side, last week, Caleb Williams had just 1 pass play that went for over 10 yards. This time he had multiple pass plays that went for, 14, 15, 20, 19. So they were stretching the field at times. They just couldn't set up the pass. They could not set up the pass. Caleb Williams finishes 23 of 37 for 174 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked 7 times for a passer rating of 51. CJ Stroud, 23 of 36 for 260 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked 3 times. He finishes with a passer rating of 94.7. And Nico Collins, boy, he is good.
Oh, yeah, the receiver.
Boy, he is good.
Big, tall.
He had 135
lanky.
yards, just his whole catch radius. I mean, balls were thrown behind him. He's able to pull it in. He's good.
Yeah, and they hit things in stride. They're picking on Stevenson's too. 29.
Oh, yeah, they were.
No wonder he was fighting out there. But no, they were scrapping. And guess what? If they're not going to throw at Jalen, they're going to throw at you after being player of the week. You need to be able to step up, make some stuff happen for you. The matchups don't get any easier in the league.
No.
They don't get easier. If Jalen Johnson's going to take away one of the toughest, they're going to, where are we going to send him? We're going to send him over on 29. and you've got to find a way to respond. I thought Gordon had himself a tough game on the blitz, deciding what he wanted to do and what he didn't want to do.
Left standing around a few times.
Well, he got a chance to get around the corner, and then he just whiffed on. You're athletic enough not to whiff on the quarterback. You're supposed to be athletic enough to be able, if he starts to bail, to get upfield to the upfield shoulder and make something happen for yourself. And he didn't. Then he caught himself in no man's land, where he didn't know whether he was going to cover the running back that was coming out of the backfield or rush the passer, and he decided to do neither. He didn't cover the guy, and then he didn't continue to rush the passer. So you can't do neither. You've got to do one or the other, but you cannot do nothing.
I did like the fact, though, that
no man's land.
Matt Eberflus dialed it up with the blitzes in the second half. It kept them in the game. The defense got aggressive. This was a hard-hitting game. They knew it was going to be a hard-hitting game. Very physical game going in. You knew it was going to be like this, but boy, it can't,
like I said,
it can't be that physical, Peggy, on your quarterback.
I did not expect this game to go as a victory for the Chicago Bears.
A lot of people didn't.
The problem is this is a game that the Bears could have had.
Exactly.
And it leaves you scratching your head about your offensive line and about your offense and about your offensive play caller. Okay, that's all that just raises more questions. That's all that ends up happening. More questions get raised today. Fortunately, they get to come back next week. And they've got the Indianapolis Colts on the schedule. Down 65, get down there. You take the bitter taste of defeat out of your mouth, and it's a chance for victory. But if you're going to watch this film, there ain't going to be not a lot of positive grades on the offensive side of the ball this week.
Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is ESPN 1000 Chicago. You are listening to the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
This is the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago, WMVP, WTBC HD2, Chicago.
Bears lose to the Texans at Energy Stadium 19-13. They are 1-1 now on the season, continuing their road trip next week to Indianapolis, where they will face the Colts. Anthony Richardson threw 3 interceptions today in their game, leaving you to wonder if there were all these opportunities last week as well with against Houston, and then next week it's going to be a defensive game yet once again, but the Bears are once again not favored as they head to Indianapolis next Sunday, 1-1. The good news, though, Jurk, is that the division is up for grabs. The division is definitely up for grabs.
Yeah, today. Minnesota's 2-0. Green Bay 1-1 with a victory today.
Yep.
And then Detroit finds a way to lose a game. They're 1-1. So you've got 3 teams at 1-1, one at 2-0. And I don't think Minnesota Vikings are going to be able to go ahead and stick it out the way they're sticking it out right now. They also lost their big wide receiver. And he's a question mark moving forward, Justin Jefferson.
Boy, he had a nice game, too.
Man.
He had a big touchdown. Yeah, Vikings now 2-0. They beat the Niners 23-17. Packers pick up their first win, beating the Colts 16-10. Malik Willis throws his first NFL touchdown, replacing Jordan Love. And as I said, Anthony Richardson throws 3 interceptions. The Bears will face the Colts quarterback next week. And the Lions fall to the Bucs in Detroit 20-16. Detroit now 1-1, the same record as the Bears. 312-332-3776. We will go out to the phone lines in just a bit. Let's continue talking here, Jurk, about the Bears running game. What more can they do to get this running game going?
Well, I always thought this was a zone team, or this was a team that pulled a little bit and trapped, got guys going one way. They've tied them up and, kind of road graded them and allowed their running back to kind of pick their way through it. They become a toss team a little bit. They fell in love with the toss in the preseason, get it out there in the perimeter. The problem is with the people that you're facing, the speed of the individuals that you're facing, and with the fact that these guys now care, you miss one block, and all of a sudden you've got one guy blowing the play up at the point of attack. And for one reason or another, either the receivers or what the Bears are running is, you're not telegraphing it, but it's like, whoa, here it is. They're in a position here where I think they want to run the ball, and then they're kind of sitting on it and waiting for it.
It sure seemed like they
Yeah.
telegraphed it because Houston was right
Well-
there. The number of tackles for loss
Yeah.
on DeAndre Swift today was it seemed like it was almost every time he touched the ball.
And so without doing a deep dive on personnel, down and distance, and formation analysis, that's the only way you can do it. And it doesn't tell you exactly what play it's going to be run, but it can give you a good thing about percentage run and pass and where they might not run it. Like run from the off guard all the way up to the thing. If you know they're not going to run a toss weak there, then you don't have to sit on it. You can play it heavy and you can move forward. That kind of thing. It doesn't tell you what's going to happen, but it tells you what won't happen. And if you don't have to sit on say pass or bootleg or anything like that, then that gives you a little bit of an advantage as a defense.
We mentioned that Caleb Williams is the Bears' leading rusher today, and he admittedly doesn't like to run. When he ran, he stepped up in the pocket, and he found himself scrambling up the middle for the most part. Teams are still going to continue to take the bootleg away from him, aren't they?
Well, yeah, absolutely. If they can get him out in space, that's what he likes. Not that C.J. Stroud likes being out in space, but boy, he's comfortable once he gets there. And when he's on a full sprint, he was very productive for the Texans today.
Let's head back to Energy Stadium where Jeff and Tom are standing by with Bears head coach Matt Eberflus.
Thanks, Peggy and Jurko. Coach, tough one today. One-score game to the end. Had the ball in your hands. You can't ask for more than that in a situation like this, but give us your insight on how this all transpired today.
Yeah, it's when you look at it, the positive was we had our chance to win it at the end, and that's a tribute to everybody on the football team. And we gave ourselves a chance to win it at the end with those last two possessions, got the field goal, had plenty of time. The defense did a really good job of, going 3 and out and forcing the punt. And then I think we had 147 to go, and that's plenty of time to get the touchdown. And we just didn't get it done this particular time. But that's what you want from a winning football team. And the guys really did a good job with that. But again, there's other things to clean up, as we know.
Yeah.
We had the sacks and some penalties that really put us behind the sticks and those types of things. So, we just got to look at it and get better. And I told the football team in there, I said, hey, it's how you respond as a football team in this league is what matters. And, you don't have a lot of time to do it. Losing stinks and it hurts. And we got to look at this tape with a critical eye and get better and improve. But then we need to, when we look at each other in the eye tomorrow, it's 24 hours and we need to move on and get ourselves ready for the next week.
How much did the lack of a running game from the backs affect how you were able to do your job today as an offense?
Yeah, it affects you because when you can't run the football, your down and distances aren't what you want them to be. So you're, relying on that, is going to be huge for us going forward. And we got to do a great job of, getting ourselves in good down and distances with the run game.
Matt, you still win the time of possession, and it's kind of incredible that, eventually you got to study the tape and see how you can become more efficient with your time of possession. And that's got to be some of the process with the young quarterback that the more educated he gets, the better that time of possession is going to be for you.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, it's all about, process and learning. And again, we're going to evaluate everything with the critical eye. And it's going to be important that, we do that and we improve and get better this week.
One thing about Caleb is I think we all learn a little bit about him every time he takes the field. And today I couldn't believe how incredibly tough he was because there was times that he was taking some shots that he knew that were coming and some that he didn't know that was coming. And he stood in there and he played tough to the very end. So I think it was kind of an inspiring performance in terms of toughness for me.
Yeah, no doubt. We knew that of him when we drafted him. And he is tough and he's a fiery competitor and he's going to get better this week.
Matt, the way they came at you with 5 and 6 pressures, 5 and 6 man pressures, how was that processed? And when you talk about a critical eye, you got to take a critical eye at just the O-line in terms of all that, plus the run game.
Well, yeah, it's really everybody. It's the O-line, tight ends, backs. Everybody has a hand in protection. A quarterback has a hand in protection. Everybody does. So you can't just really point to one position. It's a whole unit thing, and it's important that we get that look at it and make sure we improve on that this week.
And the defense, this is something, but 13 of the last 14 games, less than 20 points allowed, including 8 in a row. Happened again today against a powerful unit. Just give us a word on them, and we'll let you go.
Yeah, I was proud of those guys. We had some bigger type plays in the first half, and the guys really hung in there and made them kick field goals in the red zone. And I was unfortunate that we gave up that 2nd and 24 because we had them just where we wanted them in that situation. But again, we'll look at that as coaches and players, and we'll execute better the next time. But I was proud of those guys, how they took that ball away at the very end to give us a chance to win the game on the goal line there.
Big Bill Billings forced it and recovered by Byard. All right, safe travels back. We'll look forward to talking to you this week about the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, thank you.
That's Bears head coach Matt Eberflus. Peggy Jurko, take it away.
JJ, thank you very much. Matt Eberflus's interview with Jeff and Tom is brought to you by Finishing Chicago. All great finishes start with hiring qualified contractors from Finishing Chicago. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will take your phone calls, 312-332-3776. You're listening to the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Acura is a leader in reliability and style. Drive home in your new Acura from Advantage Acura of Naperville. With more selection to choose from and more savings, they're committed to providing a smooth and easy car buying process. Advantage Acura values your time. They'll have you in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right, drive off in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageAcura.com or see them in Naperville.
Most mentioned offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
The village of Bolingbrook is breaking out and elevating its game. Bolingbrook is rated as the 3rd most diverse suburb and the only community in Illinois to make Fortune's top 50 places to live in 2023. Why? Over 50 corporate headquarters call Bolingbrook home, and it's a prime commuter destination right off I-55 and I-355. Elevate your future and the future of your business. Visit bebolingbrook.com. It's a great time to be Bolingbrook.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
In football, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut, delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
So you call your virtual insurance company to ask a simple question about your policy, but now you're on hold listening to this music while you wait and wait. Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and pick up the phone when you call, because you shouldn't be on hold so long that you memorize the music. That's simple human sense.
Ask Fazio Insurance in Joliet if auto owners make sense for you.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul of the system and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief.
Advantage Toyota of River Oaks has the new Toyota you've been looking for. Come browse their extensive inventory of top quality vehicles priced less than you'd expect. Always backed up by unparalleled customer service and a seamless buying experience. Advantage Toyota values your time. They'll have you in your new Toyota in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right, drive off in your new Toyota in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Come see them or visit AdvantageToyotaRiverOaks.com.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Chicago's home for sports is Chicago's new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago.
Here comes the Welcome to the Great Clips postgame show on the Bears Radio Network. Brought to you by Great Clips. It's going to be great. By Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, and by Miller Lite. And now, the Great Clips postgame show on the Bears Radio Network.
Here are your hosts, Peggy Kaczynski and John Jurkovich.
Sunday nights continue to be a nightmare for the Bears playing in prime time. Their first prime time game of the season at Energy Stadium in Houston. And yet, like Coach Flew said, York, they still had a chance to win in the end. They were able to keep it within a score in the final 2 minutes.
That's the very frustrating aspect of it all. That's what frustrates the living hell out of me. That, and part of that was Houston kind of taking the foot off the accelerator. When they were 9 up, they took the foot off the accelerator a little bit. They moved the ball a little bit. They crunched down on them. They had to kick the field goal, right? I mean, wouldn't you like to have had a touchdown there? Really, to bring the game closer, make it 19-17. That way you only need a field goal coming back if you could find a way to stop them. That's what you wanted. You kicked the field goal. You made it close. Anybody who bet the Bears tonight was a winner by a half a point because it was a 6.5 point spread. So you feel good about the fact that at least you won a little bit of money. But at any point in that game, did you feel like the Bears were going to be able to come back and do anything offensively?
No.
I didn't.
No.
And it's that same sick feeling you've had in your stomach for the last 3-4 years, where you didn't think you were going to be able to do it offensively at the end of games. And the coach might say that. He might look at the positive because he's got to keep it positive. He's trying to build an offense. I didn't know that we'd be rebuilding an offensive line or the confidence of the offensive line this year, but that's probably what he's got to do now. He's got to put it on film and say, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is it that we cannot block these people? Why is it? And then I saw the one, the stunt. Nate Davis gets his head buried into the side of a guy, and there comes a looper, and that's his responsibility after he flattens the guy that's trying to penetrate. He's the one that's supposed to be able to come off and handle that blitz. He didn't handle that. 58 got beat like a drum a couple of times. Jones had a couple of penalties. He got beat like a drum. Anytime you see either Tevin Jenkins, Nate Davis, or boy, and we had another center issue, another center whose best direction is going backwards, another center that almost sacked Caleb Williams by himself with his backside. We had it again. This offensive line, it's going to be a refrain until they either play better or they fix it. It's going to be a refrain on this show. They need to play a whole lot better. I mean, our offensive numbers are pitiful.
They're
pitiful.
Awful. They had 12. They had 12 drives.
Yeah.
The 13 possessions. Don't count the one right before the half. 12 drives. Their longest drive was 49 yards, and that was on the touchdown in the first half. And that was their third or fourth drive of the game.
Same refrain, but
12 drives.
When I think of the defense and the way they play and how they hustle, I'm a lifelong Bears fan, and usually that's what I've been able to hang my hat on. Is a defense that goes out there and tries to kick as much ass as it can. It tried to do what it could be to keep that game close. They gave up 19 points against a pretty good offense. Both games, they've been under 20 points this year. So you've got chances. You're going to have chances. You'll be in every game. We're going to be in every game. And a lot of those games we're going to win because we are a little bit better than a lot of teams that are out there. But when you go play some of the class of the NFL, and that was the class of the NFL, it's going to be a little tougher. Now, the Rams aren't as good as they were last year. I'm going to give you that. No Puka. The Rams aren't as good as they were last year. I don't know if the Indianapolis Colts are still trying to find themselves with the rookie quarterback that we will be able to take advantage like they took advantage of our rookie quarterback today. So, I mean, there are reasons still to be joyous. I didn't think they were going to win today. Guess what? They didn't win today. They just didn't win in a
There were opportunities
way.
against CJ Stroud when he goes downfield. There were opportunities for takeaways, which the Bears did not capitalize. They will have opportunities next week. Anthony Richardson threw 3 interceptions today. So you're right. The defensive opportunities will be there. Just want to the inactives going into this game today. Keenan Allen did not play. Ryan Bates was placed on IR yesterday afternoon. Velus Jones was also inactive. And as coaches said, they have to do what's best for the team. So this will be interesting to see if that continues with Velus Jones. And they definitely missed Keenan Allen today. They could have used some sure hands from Keenan Allen. They could have used someone who can handle, being underthrown. Or
could Keenan Allen block? Because that's where we needed help.
Yeah.
Could Keenan Allen get up there in between your guard and your center and help block? Because Peggy, I don't know if we could have had the second coming of Randy Moss out there.
They had 3 tight ends in there.
I don't know if having having Randy Moss at his prime would have helped anything if you can't protect the quarterback. And this team, for one crazy reason or not, or these 5 guys, or just Ryan Pohl's inability to put an offensive line together is it's sickening. Okay, but the punter had 2 inside the 20 today.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, he did.
Great.
Didn't mean too much, though. Not if you don't win the game.
Yeah, great punter. Wow. Got him in the 4th round. Great.
Yeah, the Bears offense is definitely struggling. They need a spark. They need to be more solid up front. They need to get that running game going, because without it, then they just become very predictable. Although,
and one-dimensional.
One-dimensional. Yeah, exactly. Bears came back from their defense and special teams win last week to another game in which they were struggling this week. And we knew there were going to be weeks like this with Caleb Williams. He looked better in the first half. He didn't have happy feet as much. His accuracy is still off a bit. His second half, he definitely was trying to do too much.
Well, he had no choice. You're going to try to make a play. One of those plays was a 3rd and 15 that he threw down the sideline and ended up getting intercepted. I think it put him inside the 20. That's one of those interceptions. And the first one was he was going to DJ Moore. And DJ Moore tried to go up there and get the football. He tried to go up there and make a play on it. And he was going to go fight for the football. It went through his hands. And as he was going to fight for it, it dropped. And Darryl Stingley Jr. ended up catching it on the way down. And so he couldn't fight for it on the way down either. So the ball just happened to move a little bit. So that one ends up just being a glorified punt. And, that's all that ends up being at the end of the day. They move that ball downfield. They end up catching it. Okay, 50-50 ball. You wanted your receiver to have a shot to go ahead and make it happen. He didn't make it happen. The second one was more of, hey, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to throw it down there. But it looked like the only guy that can catch it was a Houston Texan. So that's the one that might bother you just a little bit. But again, you don't have to judge him until year 3. He's learning under fire, and he's really learning under fire with the way these guys are protecting him. And it's the ultimate fire. They look like they can't run a screen, like a regular running back screen to the left side. And they're challenged. Offensively, they're a challenge. But, man, the defense is good. And that's what I'm going to go back to. The defense is good.
Well, and like you said, it doesn't get any easier. Everyone collects a paycheck in the NFL.
Yep.
And there's no easy games on the schedule.
And not only that, but every team that plays the Bears look at the Bears offense and say, wow, if we were struggling getting to the quarterback, we will not struggle getting to the quarterback today. And so you can shake the mantra of being a team that poorly protects its quarterback. You will be known as a team that can't protect its quarterback. And they will be coming after you. Every single team will be licking their chops to go after the Chicago Bears.
The best protection of the quarterback came on a late hit by Shahir from Houston.
Yeah.
Off on the sideline that turned into the skirmish. And they got away with throwing a punch at Roshan Johnson, who was on the sidelines. The officials didn't see that. He definitely threw a punch. But that was the best protection we saw by the offensive line, and it was off on the sideline.
Right, off on the sideline. And that kid that threw the punch on the sidelines, he'll get fined. Hopefully it'll be a hefty fine, like a $60,000, $100,000, because he's the one that was kind of antagonizing it on the sidelines too. And for most of those guys, you find them 60 to 100 grand. They don't really care because they're making a lot more than that. Not that they don't care. And when it hurts the pocketbook, that's a problem. That was the 100,000 that you were going to go screw around with. And now you got to dip further into the funds and use another 100,000 to go screw around with after having to pay the fine.
Tough day for Caleb Williams. Got sacked 7 times, picks up his first loss as a pro. Jason McKee is standing by with QB1 at Energy Stadium.
Here, Bears quarterback Caleb Williams. Caleb, second week in a row, you guys faced a tough defensive front. That's good at stopping the run and also rushing the passer. Talking about some of the challenges you guys faced tonight out there.
Yeah, it was tough. They did well with their different blitzes or some of the guys over there winning their one-on-ones and things like that. But that doesn't necessarily take away from some of the mistakes that I made. Obviously can't throw 2 interceptions in a tough Sunday night game. And so we'll definitely get better, and I'll definitely be better for the guys.
What are some of the positives after a tough loss that you can take away from this, and you being one of the leaders of this team? What would be the message this week out there at practice?
Yeah, I think some of the message would be that it's week 2. You have to understand it's a long season. It's how we're going to respond, how we're going to be in practice, how all these different things, attention to details, and a lot more. So, I think that's the biggest thing. And then the takeaways from this game, offensively and passing wise, I think we were, a bit closer, connection wise. Wide receivers, tight ends, all these different things. Passing wise, I think we, our connection between, my connection, I guess you could say, between the wide receivers and stuff, and delivering the ball to them was better today, and just gonna keep getting better.
Last question. Moving forward, you guys facing a coach defense. What are some of the things that you look to improve upon this week?
Yeah, myself, one, just obviously don't turn the ball over. It's never been my thing throughout my career is to turn the ball over. And so, obviously handle that. And then the next thing is just, like I said before, let's respond this week. That's going to be a message for the team, myself, understand it's a long season.
All right. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Peggy and Jurko up in the booth.
All right, J-Mac, thank you very much. Caleb Williams mentioned the blitzes from the Houston Texans. D'Amico Ryans was blitzing over 41%, which was highly different from anything the Texans had done in the past. But I guess, Jurk, when you have a rookie quarterback, you just bring the kitchen sink.
And there's no sympathy in this league. They don't feel sorry for anybody. They're going to bring the kitchen sink. If that's what they believe will give them the best chance to win. And if they believe that'll give them the best chance to shut down whatever the Chicago Bears are doing. They looked at it, they ID'd it, and they implemented a game plan, and they put consistent and constant pressure on Caleb Williams and the Bears offense today.
It was a rough day for Caleb Williams.
I would love to be in the meeting room, in the offensive line room, to see what happens there. I don't know. It's a kinder, more gentler Chicago Bears with a lot of feelings being shared all the time between, people. So I don't know. Maybe nobody gets yelled at over there. Maybe it's everybody just gets patted on the head and you're glad you tried your best. And maybe next week we'll try a little bit harder.
Chris Morgan got promoted. He got promoted. The offensive line has looked so good.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams' interview with Jason McKee is brought to you by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana. See Tesla at Hard Rock Live, Friday, September 20th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. When we come back, we will open up the phone lines at 312-332-3776. This is the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Dear football fans, Toyota's leading the drive to victory. The Corolla and all-hybrid Camry make big plays with style and efficiency. RAV4 is a versatile game changer. Highlander's got room for your whole squad. And the rugged Tacoma and Tundra control the line of scrimmage. They've all got available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive too. Visit Toyota.com or head to your local Toyota dealership. Toyota, let's go places.
I never knew owning a gourmet Italian pasta business could be this profitable.
Thanks to our Old National commercial banker.
That warehouse expansion loan?
Oh, and the help with our equipment leasing.
But still, gotta say, it seems like he loves the Italian pasta business more than we do.
La nuova attrezzatura ha reso il processo molto più efficiente. I mean, the new equipment, it makes it so much more efficient.
Really dedicated commercial bankers.
Sorry, got a little carried away there.
Another reason to choose Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
Crash, bang, suddenly you are on the DL. If that happens as a result of somebody else's negligence, we can help. I'm Jim Morisi, Chicago personal injury lawyer. Our experienced attorneys and support staff will talk with you during a free consultation, tell you your options, and ensure that you take the right steps throughout the entire process. Visit us at MorisiLongo.com. That's MoriciLongo.com. Your future is our priority.
Hi, this is Dave Musil, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons, call it 664 Seasons.
Steady.
Don't worry, I got this.
Take it easy.
Oh, look, a bird.
Running a commercial business comes with risk. When the unexpected happens, you need a partner by your side to manage it. Ings Insurance Agency can help you protect your dream of owning and running a business. Meet with Ings and they will listen and learn about what keeps you up nights. They'll develop a strategy to keep your staff and all creatures, safe and protected. IngsInsurance.com.
With 3 locations to serve Chicagoland, Advantage Chevrolet gives you so much more. Visit and see the amazing inventory and savings at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview. And Advantage Chevrolet values your time. They'll have you in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right. Drive off in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they will make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Our patient Mike had blood clots deep in his lungs that were putting his heart under major duress. Using a minimally invasive procedure pioneered by our team, we were able to clear them.
Top ranked in Illinois for heart and vascular by U.S. News and World Report, Northwestern Memorial Hospital used tiny balloons to widen the vessels in his lungs, the first in Illinois to master this breakthrough method.
As Mike's nurse, I'm proud to have helped him breathe freely again.
Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Property managers and GCs use FinishingChicago.com's contractors for finishes and protective coatings in the most iconic venues, interior spaces, and essential infrastructure. Our painters apply industry-leading commercial and industrial finishes inside and out, so your biggest assets always put their best square footage forward. FinishingChicago.com has your free list of painting, wall covering, glass systems, drywall finishing, and signage contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
Uno's Pizza, handcrafted the Chicago way with the finest ingredients and buttery pie-like crust. Your taste buds will thank you. Find Uno's at your favorite local Chicagoland grocery store. It's called Uno's for a reason. 3rd down and 2 now for the Bears. Texans, tight coverage across the board. Here's the snap, play fake, good protection, throwing the slant on the dime, making the catch across the 30 down near the 25-yard line. And when I say Caleb Williams rifled that to DJ Moore, I mean it was a cannon shot on the slant for 19 yards and a first down.
Peggy and Jurko, post-game on ESPN Chicago.
That was one of the Bears' first downs. They had 7 passing first downs, just 3 rushing first downs, 5 from penalties, as the Texans had over 100 yards in penalties in this game, and yet the Bears still could not capitalize on that. Interestingly, the Bears also had two challenges that they lost, Yerk.
Yeah.
Eberflus challenged twice, lost them both. Both of them seemed quite obviously.
Yeah, the first challenge was ridiculous.
It was right in front of him.
It was right in front of him. Why would you challenge that? Who would tell you to challenge that?
Literally at Flus's feet.
Right in front of you. What are you doing? Are you bored?
That was bad.
Right. And then the other one was the interception, I believe.
Yeah.
On whether
Kyler
it was
Gordon. Was he listening to Kyler Gordon? Because Gordon was on the sideline yelling for the.
I don't know who he was listening to, but somebody upstairs needs to see it and say, hey, no, we don't want to challenge this.
Right.
No. That way, if something would have happened at the end of the game, they would not have had a challenge. They wouldn't have been able to do it. And in the final 2 minutes, it comes from the booth anyway. But say it was 2:45 and you had a legitimate beef, you wouldn't have been able to have it because you decided to do that. Just because your players got histrionics and want something to be done doesn't mean as the head coach that you simply do it because your players want it done. That's why you get paid the big money to make those decisions. So, yeah, both of them were a little bit foolish, but at the end of the day, did it ruin the game for the Chicago Bears? No, because even though it looked like they were in it, they weren't really in it.
There was a bad delay of game that Caleb Williams and the Bears offense took coming out of a commercial break. I don't even know how that happens. You had all this time. It was just a matter of not looking at the clock and not realizing when the official says the clock is starting.
You're out of the break. You know that the minute they go, it's 25 seconds. So everybody knows the play. Boom. The guy with the orange thing on his arm walks off the field. We're coming back from television break. They blow the whistle. You should be at the line of scrimmage. Running your play. For heaven's sake, you guys been drinking water for the last 2.5 minutes. So, yeah, a little ridiculous.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Johnny's been holding on in Geneva. Hello, Johnny. You're on the Bears postgame show.
Yeah, good evening. A few comments. First of all, Jurko, you are so spot on with all you've said. It's insane. Like, watching it from my couch, I'm sitting here thinking everything you've said so far is absolutely true. I don't understand how there could be so much inept play from the offensive line and Ryan Poles not see this way far in advance, months ago, to put his QB, who's a rookie, in this position. It's so bad where we are. It's going to be really detrimental to his development if we keep doing this. So the first thing I like to see is obviously some moves at center, and Nate Davis is absolutely worthless. Get him off the field. He does nothing for the team. And then also, I don't understand why the play calling is so bad all the time. Like Cole Kmet coming in the second quarter, finally getting a touch. He should have been there way earlier. But, long story short, I don't understand why this approach is so it's the first thing they've thought of. There's a lot to be thought, kind of come from, and I'll get your thoughts when I hang up.
I'm going to say something about the offensive line here, Jurk. It's really easy to say get rid of Nate Davis. The problem is you have Bill Murray as the backup. And when Matt Eberflus was asked, will there be a rotation this week with, Ryan Bates now being put on IR and would maybe Murray come in and rotate with Nate Davis? He said, no, this is Nate's job. And your backup line, your other backup tackles, you have Matt Pryor and Kiran Amagaji, who is still banged up. There is not depth on the offensive line.
You got two guys that were active. There's 7 active for the game.
Yeah.
If you look at the did not play list, there's only 2 guys there.
Right.
Substitutions. There's the 5 and the 2. They only keep 7 linemen active, guys. Doug Kramer. Mark Pryor?
Matt Pryor.
From Marian Catholic?
Matt Pryor.
The hell's going on? Boy, that doesn't scream in, hey, I should replace my starters with one of these guys by any stretch. Yeah.
No, exactly not. Let's keep going.
Listen, they're bad. And as far as the offense coordinator, Waldron has come out of here from Seattle, and he's got to prove himself to the people of Chicago and to his own football team. And last week's game didn't really do anything, and this week's game didn't really do anything. So I don't know what the identity of this offense is besides their quarterback's not going to survive if they can't protect them.
Sal, you're up next. Hi, Sal.
Hey, guys, a couple of points. The last time I saw a Bears quarterback take a beating was a Sunday night, October 3rd, 2010, Jake Cutler against the New York Giants when he was sacked 10 times and knocked out of the game. Second, this offensive line is crap. Ryan Poles has had 3 years to rebuild this offensive line, and he hasn't done it. Even when he came in Justin Fields' second year, we were all screaming, why aren't you building the offensive line to see if Justin Fields could play? It's just mind-boggling. Listen, he's done a great job rebuilding this team. Where I give him an F is on the offensive line. Does this guy understand how to build an offensive line? It's been 3 years now with two different quarterbacks.
Sal, what's worrisome, Jurko, these guys are going backwards. I mean, literally going backwards. Yeah. And not just in their progress, but they are going backwards. They're getting pushed backwards.
Well, they look worse than they did last week, and I didn't think they could look worse than they did last week. And then simply after last week's performance, I made a simple statement to Carm. I said, Carm, I'd rush 5 against the Bears. And man alive, like they were listening to the show, there they were running 5 against the Bears and a couple stunts off of them and then throwing a 6th guy into the mix just for blinks and giggles because the running back's back there. It's actually 3-on-3, 3-on-3. So you still have enough, right? You still have enough? Didn't matter.
Let's keep going on the phone lines. Ron is in Lowell, Indiana. Hello, Ron.
Hello. I'm going to kind of echo what the other guy said. Ryan Poles has had 3 years. He got rid of the center we had when he first came in. He was a halfway decent guy. I don't remember the guy's name.
Cody Whitehair.
Yeah, and he's done nothing to address it. Shelton, that's going on the cheap, you know? You always get what you pay for. It's disgusting with this offensive line. He's going to ruin another quarterback, you know? And then what is it with our quarterback hits? They never call a roughing the passer. Same thing with Fields last year.
Well, he was actually still in bounds when he got hit. So the one on the sidelines there, it actually that it seemed like it should have been called, but then when you watch it again, you saw that he was still in bounds, and he's an active runner at that point. But let's not forget Ryan Bates also, Jurk. Ryan Bates was who they went after in the offseason.
He's not here, though.
No, he's on IR now.
Right, he's gone.
And even when they asked whether or not it was a competition with Coleman Shelton and Ryan Bates, it became clear that Coleman Shelton had become the starter at center, and Bates was more of your like a swing guard.
Yeah, that's what you'd have to be, or a guy that could play all three. A guy that can play all three positions in case somebody got banged up. It doesn't matter what happened, what your initial plans were. You've got to bring 15 offensive linemen to the party during training camp. Like they could be 15 guys that can make the team. You're looking for guys that you bring into camp on guys that can be starters, that you're hoping they've got you project them to be able to, hey, at one point, I believe you can start an NFL football game. And then you bring them in, you coach them up, they become better, they get some experience, and then you can count on them sometime. Now, of course, you've got to cut people, you've got to move people out. But when you make your choice and, hey, these are going to be our 9 offensive linemen for the year, you want them to be the 9 best linemen that you brought to the table. And I don't know if they brought 15 guys to training camp that, legitimate guys to be on NFL rosters.
We are going to come back with our Bears Advantage. Don't forget, this is your opportunity to listen up, because when we tell you who our Bears Advantage of the game was, it means it gives you an opportunity and a chance to win a lease on a 2025 Chevy Equinox. So stay tuned. We will have the Bears Advantage when we come back.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Getting the kids to practice on time. remembering if it's your day to bring snacks, making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Ask Fazio Insurance in Joliet if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Acura is a leader in reliability and style. Drive home in your new Acura from Advantage Acura of Naperville. With more selection to choose from and more savings, they're committed to providing a smooth and easy car buying process. Advantage Acura values your time. They'll have you in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right, drive off in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageAcura.com or see them in Naperville.
Most mentioned offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul, the system, and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief.
Hey Bears fans, Steinhoffel's is a proud partner of the Chicago Bears. Steinhoffel's newest furniture and mattress superstore is now open in Schaumburg on Gulf Road, with stores in Vernon Hills, Crystal Lake, Downers Grove, Harwood Heights, Schaumburg, and coming soon to Orland Park. Steinhoffel's is Chicagoland's furniture and mattress leader with the largest selection to fit every style and budget, and is 100% employee owned. Shop in-store and online at steinhoffels.com.
UI Health believes everyone deserves exceptional care. Their care teams are leaders in managing and treating complex diseases and conditions, utilizing the latest innovations and minimally invasive surgery. UI Health prioritizes personalized care from diagnosis through precision treatment. UI Health develops the care plan that's right for you. UI Health, exceptional care for you. Learn more at uihealth.care.
With 3 locations to serve Chicagoland, Advantage Chevrolet gives you so much more. Visit and see the amazing inventory and savings at Advantage Chevrolet Bolingbrook. And Advantage Chevrolet values your time. They'll have you in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right. Drive off in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they will make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
The new home of the Chicago Bears.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans.
ESPN Chicago.
Backs on either side. In fact, Dalton Schultz on to the right. Here's snap back to C.J. Stroud. Looping in front, giving him pressure. It's snagged, and down he goes on 3rd down. DeMarcus Walker and company bring the heat on the stunt. And C.J. Stroud sacked. A 10-yard loss on 3rd down and 10. Huge play. C.J. Stroud looking at 2nd and 9. In the gun. To his left is Mixon. Snap to Stroud. Looking in a tight pocket. Wrapped up. And Jeff Sanford lays the hammer down. Puts him down. Never got a chance to escape. The Sandman put him asleep.
Peggy and Jurko postgame. ESPN Chicago.
The Bears' defensive pressure was their advantage of the game. Don't forget, if you remember that, we are going to come back to it later on in the show, because one entry every network postgame show will be given to the Hopper, and that means you may get a chance for the grand prize after Week 18. That grand prize is a 2-year prepay lease on a 2025 Chevy Equinox EV capped at 10,000 miles per year, $11,000 value. You need to be 18 or older, from Illinois only. Official contest rules are at ESPN Chicago. contests.com. The Bears' advantage of the game is brought to you by Advantage Chevy Dealerships, home of the 60-minute guarantee. They will have you driving off in your next Chevy in 60 minutes or less, or they'll make your first car payment. The Bears' defense definitely kept them in the game here today, Jurk, even though the Bears' offense did score their first touchdown of the season. Khalil Herbert found the end zone.
Once every 2 games is not enough, Peggy. Once every 2 games. But, yeah, they got down there, and, Caleb Williams tucked it and he ran. He lowered his head. He lowered the boom. Did not suffer a concussion like our guy Tua did the other night. But he got down to about the 2-3 yard line, and then Khalil Herbert ended up taking it in. Hopefully it's the first of many more for the rest of the year.
It should have actually been a touchdown to Rome Odunze. Odunze should have come down with a pass in the end zone the play before Khalil Herbert found the end zone for a run. Instead, Odunze kind of bobbled it off his hands, got all tangled.
Caleb put it where only Rome was going to catch it. And then Rome kind of had to get up and twist a little bit. In the process of the twisting, his hands didn't necessarily meet perfectly with the football.
Yeah. So still waiting for that first touchdown from the 2 first-round draft picks for the Chicago Bears. Let's go out, take a quick phone call here before we take a break. Let's go out to Chicago Ridge. Ahmad is up next. Hello, Ahmad.
Hey, Peggy, here, you're a car, you guys.
Good.
I'm just sick of this crap. It's the same thing year in and year out. Our offensive line, it's been a problem for over a decade. Ryan Poles is not the guy to lead this team to a damn Super Bowl. It's been, you look at all his draft picks, who does he have? Javon Dexter, Juwan Brisker, and that was it pretty much. All the rest of the guys are free agents that he signed from other teams. Man, he made a mistake drafting Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze does not benefit us. It starts with the front 4. He should have taken an O-line. It's been a problem, and it still is when we're in 2024. We can't talk playoffs at all this year. We have a huge problem here on the offense. It's atrocious. I don't know what's worse, the Giants or the Bears offense. It's just sad. It's really pathetic. We should have hired Jim Harbaugh as our damn head coach, and he should be calling all the shots. They're 2-0 for a reason. The guy is a winning head coach. What has Eberflus proven since he's been in the league in the NFL? Again, that falls back in ownership. I don't know whether George didn't want to pay him or not, but it is what it is. That's what we're dealt with. And another thing, yes, Caleb has been pressured and all that, but man, he had some wide receivers open. He's got to hit those open targets. I mean, our defense kept us in the game, but he's got to do his job too. I get it. And one last thing. It's Shane Waldron's job to put the best 11 on the field. Why is Everett in the damn game every play?
Yeah, that I don't understand. I don't know why Everett is in there every play. I don't. I saw it today, and I'm like, listen, if your coach brought you in here and you're going to be in there, you better be able to do something. You better be able to make a play, and you better not make mistakes because your guy has vouched for you. So I don't get that. Secondly, the offensive line is bad. I think there's more than Dexter. He's been here 3 years, right?
Second year.
Yeah. Third year. This is his third
Dexter,
year.
yes.
So he's had 3 drafts, though, is what we're saying. Ryan Poles has had 3 drafts.
Yes.
So he's got more than that. I think Gordon is his. Brisker is his. They came in the same draft.
Yes.
Stevenson is his. He smartly enough identified Jalen Johnson. I think Jalen Johnson actually played some great football and convinced everybody that, hey, he needs to be here. So, he's been able to identify some of the guys that deserve it. I'll be honest, Tevin Jenkins doesn't deserve anything. I'd let him play it out and say, hey, have a great career. Tevin Jenkins is struggling this year.
Well, and
He's not playing good.
October, they told his agent to wait until October. We'll talk contract. Let's see how he does. So at least they saw that much out of him. You're right. At least they saw that. This is the second year for the draft class that Ryan Poles had in 2023, which was Darnell Wright, Javon Dexter, Tyreek Stevenson, Zach Pickens, who left the game today with a groin injury, Roshan Johnson, who has not played at all. He's missed most of training camp as well. Tyler Scott, who was supposed to have all the opportunities today with Keenan Allen not playing, and we didn't see Tyler Scott.
I saw too much Everett.
Noah Sewell, who has been in the tub for 2 years. I don't think he's played a single game.
He's on the Valus program.
And Terrell Smith, who actually the defensive back has had some nice, but yeah. So this is this is that was 2 years. Javon Dexter this is his second year.
Yeah.
This is the second year and is supposed to be the biggest year, the biggest jump for players. Dexter did have a sack today.
Yep.
Second game, correct me if I'm wrong, is supposed to be the biggest jump for players like Caleb Williams. He made a jump, but then he
made a jump. Then he made another jump.
Backwards.
Yeah, Frogger, they jump a lot. In Frogger, the game, you jump around, you move sideways, and every once in a while you get squished by a car. Yeah, you say jump, right? Frogger. Remember the game Frogger?
No.
You never played Frogger with a little frog? You got to get him across the road, and you got to avoid the cars, and then you got to put them on a log as the logs are moving left and right. You got to go from the screen, bottom to top. And then every once in a while, like a snake will be on the log, or the log will disappear, and the frog ends up going into the water, and that's not a good thing either. But either way, you're talking about jumps. And I'm saying he's like Frogger. He made a couple of jumps, and then he got hit by a car when he threw those interceptions.
Right.
You can't do that. Not only that, but the pressure was there. It's like playing Frogger at double speed. They're coming at you
Cars
everywhere.
were coming
left.
from
Yes,
both
every side.
both directions.
Or squish frog in the hot sun. It's no good. But either way, yeah, you're supposed to make jumps. Jumps are supposed to be made. Jump from year 1 to year 2 for a defensive lineman is a nice one. Listen, I thought Dexter was going to be a player. I thought they had to wash the Florida Gators two-gap system out of his system, and it took a while. And it was probably going to take an off season for them to get him in there, get him in the weight room, and have him become the guy that he might be able to become. So I think Dexter's going to be a player. He's got 2 sacks in 2 games.
Yes.
I believe he's there. I mean, he's not going to end up with 17 sacks this year. But if Dexter stays healthy, I bet you Dexter be a guy that gets 10, 11 sacks this year. Be your second most influential guy in that defensive line.
Well, they
That'd
did
be
a
good
couple,
thing for you.
They did some nice inside stunts. That got him free to the quarterback. So
and Billingsley, my guy Billings, is doing
there's
what he
your
does.
guy.
Yeah,
Mr. Billingsley.
I love the way he's shaped. I love the way he plays. He's very comfortable in the middle there. He's not a gazillionaire. Doesn't make loads of money, but it makes enough for himself as a veteran player to get in there and be very effective as a run stopper. So I'm a big fan of Billings. They got inside there. And, then young kids, they got on the perimeter, got to see things. They got to see it in live action because, boy, they bite quick. They little hocus pocus. They show them a little something fancy, some butterflies and some fireworks over here, and they just rush over there. And then they're running something in another direction. So they'll see it. They'll get accustomed to it. They'll get used to it. But I'm more of a fan of what the defense has been doing than I am of what the offense has been doing.
Mr. Billingsley is making a lot of big men very happy.
Yeah, a lot of big round guys
with
low centers of gravity.
It's good.
Yeah, and it looks like he put on about 20, 22 pounds of stability. He did. I mean, that jersey doesn't fit him the way it used to. I know that for sure.
Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is ESPN 1000 Chicago, and you are listening to the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
This is the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago, WMVP, WTBC HD2, Chicago.
Tito's handmade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. No matter who's on your roster, lineup, or lucky jersey, make Tito's your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
With 3 locations to serve Chicagoland, Advantage Chevrolet gives you so much more. Visit and see the amazing inventory and savings at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview. And Advantage Chevrolet values your time. They'll have you in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right. Drive off in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they will make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great.
Time to shine, legal guy. Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Property managers and GCs use FinishingChicago.com's contractors for finishes and protective coatings in the most iconic venues, interior spaces, and essential infrastructure. Our painters apply industry-leading commercial and industrial finishes inside and out, so your biggest assets always put their best square footage forward. FinishingChicago.com has your free list of painting, wall covering, glass systems, drywall finishing, and signage contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
If you've been seriously injured at work, in a car accident, or on a construction site, you may not know where to turn. I'm Jim Morisi, Chicago personal injury lawyer and the managing partner of Morisi, Longo & Associates. We are the ones you need to call when you've been injured, the ones who gather the evidence and deal with the insurance companies. So here's the information to keep by your side. Our number is 312-372-9600, and our website is moricilongo.com, MORICILONGO.com.
When I got sick, I spent years looking for answers, but it only took one conversation with my team at Northwestern Medicine to correct my misdiagnosis. I'm Daniel. When Parkinson's changed my life, so did my Spanish-speaking care team.
The Northwestern Medicine Parkinson's Disease and Movement Disorders Center offers specialized, culturally sensitive care. Their Spanish-speaking team was the first to provide Daniel with innovative treatment in the language he preferred. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Dear football fans, Toyota's leading the drive to victory. The Corolla and all-hybrid Camry make big plays with style and efficiency. RAV4 is a versatile game changer. Highlander's got room for your whole squad. And the rugged Tacoma and Tundra control the line of scrimmage. They've all got available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive too. Visit Toyota.com or head to your local Toyota dealership. Toyota. Let's go places.
From last-second game-winning field goals to 98-yard kickoff returns, football is exciting. But as the official bank of the Chicago Bears, PNC prefers to be steady and boring, like a solid ground game that eats up the clock. A strategy that scored a lot of financial wins over the last 160 years. And while our customers may not wear our name on the back of jerseys, Bears fans can get 20% off regularly priced merchandise with the Chicago Bears PNC Bank debit card. A pretty exciting option play if you ask us. Find out more at pnc.com/bearscard. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Chicagoland's favorite locally made chocolate chip cookie and one of America's top-selling soft baked cookies makes Matt's #1 on everybody's shopping list. Crowd on full blast as the Bears line up a trio tight to the right. DJ Moore just outside the left hash. Williams brings a man in orbit motion. Read option, handing off. It's Herbert to the 2, to the end zone for the touchdown. Bears cap off the drive with 32 seconds to go in the first half. 13-9, point pending.
Peggy and Jurko, post-game on ESPN Chicago.
Khalil Herbert picks up the first touchdown of the season for the Bears offense. And the Bears had 22 carries today for 71 yards. They had 37 pass attempts, though, as Caleb Williams tried to find a rhythm downfield more. Not so easy today. Took lots of hits, 11 quarterback hits by the Houston Texans.
He's going to be sore.
Oh, wow.
He's going to be sore tomorrow. He's going to feel it.
Yeah.
He's going to know what it's like to be on the run in the NFL. Things aren't all rosy when you drop back at quarterback in this NFL. There's a lot of guys that can rush the passer and get after a quarterback, and I think he's finding that out now. Early on, he was getting rid of the ball and good timing. They kept going back to show you, take a look here. He held it for a little bit, but now look how he's getting rid of the ball. The problem is when the defense put the screws to you and they want to tighten up the coverage a little bit, now they kind of see what you're trying to do. All right, well, just tighten it up a little bit on you. Now, all of a sudden, those guys aren't as open as they were. And you still got to believe and you still got to feel that you can get the ball in there and you still got to throw it. Even though it's tight windows. Tight windows are there. Tight windows are there to be thrown through. So you got to throw through them. You got to make it happen.
He had a couple of deep passes that his receivers were open. DJ Moore a couple of times, and he was wildly overthrown, which was too bad because they would have brought the Bears in the red zone again, but not meant to be today. Let's go out to Valparaiso, Indiana. Hi, Barry.
Barry.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Go ahead, Barry.
I agree with your last point. I think for me, I don't believe we have any running back that's considered a number one. DeAndre Swift, great. Herbert, fine. But I don't think it embodies what Bears football is all about. You know, I mean, we should have someone that when the pass game is struggling and they can't get downfield and they're tightening those screws, like you just said, you know, we need someone to hit them in the mouth, like run right through them. Even if the O-line struggling, give the O-line, let them get a little froth about them and let them keep going and just keep pushing it. And we don't have that. I mean, DeAndre Swift, he's fine and all, but lateral, you know, side to side, side to side, side to side. Hope you break a tackle. Nobody's fooled by that anymore. Like you could see, like there's 3-4 guys that are swarming on each side of the ball. Like that game's over. Like, do you think we need?
No, I think successful offensive lines build great running games. That's what I think. I think Terrell Davis ran behind one of the best offensive lines, and when he got hurt, Mike Anderson went in there. And when he got hurt, they had another guy, Olandis Gary, went in there. They had guys that they just kept plugging in there because they had studs on the offensive line, and they just threw the ball to them and said, go. When you have a great offensive line, you're going to have success at the running back position. If you had more recent evidence would be if you take a look at what's happened up in Detroit, where they went from James Williams to Montgomery to Jahmyr Gibbs. And when those guys get to be older, they want to get paid a lot more money. It's going to be hasta la bye-bye. We're just going to get somebody new. Why? Because we got an offensive line that can block and they can open up holes. And anybody you throw back there, it's what's been happening. We talked about it 13 years ago, where I thought the running back position was going to become a little less. And this is the beginning of the Derrick Henry era with the Tennessee Titans. Might have been even before that, but as it was happening, offensive lines. Most great general managers have built their teams on the offensive and defensive lines and put the pieces in place after that with a receiver, with a quarterback. But the lines are where the strengths of your teams usually are. And then you put everything else around them. And if you give your quarterback time, your quarterback can find receivers.
Ryan Poles is built from the outside in.
It's a different way of doing it.
On both offense and defense, starting with the secondary on defense.
It doesn't mean you can't be successful. It just means you got to get lucky when you do address your quarterback position. That you got to get lucky. Detroit's built their team offensive line, defensive line.
Okay, but doesn't it feel like so that you start with the drafting guys for the secondary on defense, you paid big money to your linebackers, you finally get Montez Sweat last year.
Which is crazy.
You have paid a lot of money now, you got wide
Peggy.
Receivers.
Yep.
You brought in a running back. So what's the last area that he is spending any money?
Offensive line.
Exactly.
All right. So here's my question to you. And you talked about the linebackers. They paid TJ Edwards, but they didn't pay him a gazillion dollars.
No,
they
but
paid him as a journeyman to come in here.
Tremaine Edmonds got more money.
Right. So Edmonds. So when you rank your list of defensive players from 1 to say 14, where do you put Tremaine Edmonds?
Oh, wow.
I know where I put him. I mean, if I put Jalen Johnson and Montez Sweat up on top.
Right. 1, 2, 3, right there. He's probably 4.
No.
Where do you put him?
No. I would put Brisker.
Right.
I would put Gordon. I don't know if I'd put Bidard on top of him quite yet. I would probably put Sweat.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Sweat,
I put
Brisker,
Dexter. I put
Gordon.
Dexter in there too. Well, you had him fourth.
Javon Dexter.
I don't have TJ Edwards is playing better than Edmonds is.
Yeah, that's true.
So Edwards is on there too. So say it's 7th.
That's a good point.
Say he's getting paid $19 million a year to be the 7th best player in the defense. It doesn't make sense. And that was an Eberflus signing, I believe. Eberflus wanted him. Eberflus said, this is the kind of linebacker I need to be able to run my system. And he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it. And he certainly doesn't play the position like the people that we know have played in the city of Chicago, a city of linebackers. Okay? And I said about Edmonds, this is his prove-it year. He's got to prove he deserves the contract. Okay? He's the guy that's got to step up. He's the guy that's making $19 million. He's the third highest paid player on this team, but he doesn't play like the third highest paid player on this defense. Defense, not the team, defense. And so when you ask me what the hell's going on, I'm telling you, I don't know what the hell's going on. But that's another thing where why aren't you building your defensive line? You build what's in front of your linebackers. You get linebackers a dime a dozen to come in. If you build a defensive line and you make life simple for your linebackers. But instead, they did it a different way. But I can't complain because this is the way he's decided to go about the business. Now that this is the way he's decided to go about it, when the offensive line is such a glaring weakness, and when the offensive line is so pitiful that it might cause your quarterback to get hurt, I'm telling you guys, nobody's going to be calling for Bajan to come start. Bajan is going to have to play at some point because Caleb Williams is going to get killed back there. Okay? And he's not as elusive as Justin Fields. He's not as fast as Justin Fields. Okay? He's not as athletic as Justin Fields. He's none of that. But he might be a better quarterback than Justin Fields, which is what you really want at the end of the day. So I'm worried. I'm worried. There's a whole lot of worry here.
You don't think number 18, when he puts his head on the pillow tonight, is also worried?
Head on the pillow, boy, I tell you, he's probably pharmaceutically enhanced. He's going to have to be just to make it through everything. Tuesday night, I'm going to go to St. Andrew the Apostle School in Calumet City, Illinois. I'm going to participate in the novena. And when I start saying the novena, I'm going to dedicate it to Caleb Williams and his health, hoping that he can survive the next 15 games. Because I worry about him behind that offensive line.
312-332-3776. More of your phone calls when we come back. This is the Chicago Bears postgame show on ESPN Radio.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Advantage Toyota of River Oaks has the new Toyota you've been looking for. Come browse their extensive inventory of top quality vehicles priced less than you'd expect. Always backed up by unparalleled customer service and a seamless buying experience. Advantage Toyota values your time. They'll have you in your new Toyota in less than 60 minutes or they'll make your first car payment. That's right, drive off in your new Toyota in less than 60 minutes or they'll make your first car payment. Come see them or visit AdvantageToyotaRiverOaks.com.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Right now at Old National, we have a $450 checking bonus.
Sign me up. But why is that hockey player standing there?
I'm here for the checking.
Well, for a bonus that big, bring on the checking.
Sir, no need to brace yourself against the wall.
It's bank checking.
I knew that.
Earn up to a $450 bonus when you open a checking account and complete qualifying activities within 90 days of account opening. Another reason to get old. Old National, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through October 31st, 2024. Visit oldnational.com/checking.
Acura is a leader in reliability and style. Drive home in your new Acura from Advantage Acura of Naperville. With more selection to choose from and more savings, they're committed to providing a smooth and easy car buying process. Advantage Acura values your time. They'll have you in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right, drive off in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageAcura.com or see them in Naperville.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Hi, this is Dave Musil, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads, or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons, call 866 Seasons.
UI Health believes everyone deserves exceptional care. Their care teams are leaders in managing and treating complex diseases and conditions, utilizing the latest innovations and minimally invasive surgery. UI Health prioritizes personalized care from diagnosis through precision treatment. UI Health develops the care plan that's right for you. UI Health, exceptional care for you. Learn more at uihealth.care.
The village of Bolingbrook is breaking out and elevating its game. Bolingbrook remains the most desirable Southwest suburban location to start or expand your business. Why? Over 50 corporate headquarters call Bolingbrook home, and it's a prime commuter destination right off I-55 and I-355. So come be Bolingbrook. Elevate your future and the future of your business. Visit bebolingbrook.com. It's a great time to be Bolingbrook.
Ings Insurance. Insurance that's moving business forward. Ings Insurance. That's Ings with an E. ENGS Insurance.com.
High formation, backfield. Stover, the rookie. He'll lead. As the handoff goes to Akers, he is turned away. Bears feel there's a fumble, and Brisker thinks the Bears have it. Big collision on Akers. Let's sort out the pile and see where it stands inside the 5-yard line. It'd be a heck of a good fortune with still a lot of time on the clock, 6:28. It's Bears football at the 2-yard line. How about that defense? That is a goal line stand right there. Bears football at the 3 when we come back. Bears trail 19-10. 6:28 to go in the fourth quarter.
Peggy and Jurko post-game on ESPN Chicago.
Finding the great in this Bears loss is your guy, Mr. Billingsley. Andrew Billings with the forced fumble at an opportune time, a key time before the Texans were ready to score. Kevin Byard with the fumble recovery kept the Bears in the game in the fourth quarter. The Bears capitalized with a field goal out of that. Needed a touchdown, but they did get 3 points off of the forced fumble. That is finding the great, because in sports, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. Download their app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great. Well, the Bears defense is definitely great. Andrew Billingsley, he's hard to replace. He is playing better than he played last year, and I know it's just 2 games.
Yep.
But last week they moved him around on the line. He seems to be irreplaceable.
Well, I like 93 the way he played too last year. I don't know if you remember who 93 was, but he was a good little player up on the inside. Also finished with 3 sacks last year. I thought they had a couple of good guys. But I think 97 played better than 93 last year. That's why 97 signed a contract extension during the end of last year. So, but Billings is stout. He's powerful. He's pretty damn good against the run. And can find a way to get a push in regular personnel when they're up there. And so if he has to convert from run to pass, he's one of the bigger guys, or, one of the guys that's more stout and powerful that can find a way to transition into a pass rush. So that's kind of nice. So, yeah, I'm a fan of 97.
Let's go to the phone lines. Lots of callers upset with the performance of the Bears tonight. Let's go to the South Side. Frank is up next. Hi, Frank.
Frankie.
Hello, Frank.
Frankie, we're here.
Frank, wake up.
Well, let's
All right. Thank you, Frank. Sorry about that. We'll continue. Go to Rich, who's hanging on. I believe Rich is out in Florida listening in on the ESPN Chicago app. Hi, Rich.
Hi, how are you? I'm calling about a couple of instances with Caleb Williams. I was watching the Hard Knocks the other night, and he was sitting across the desk from Coach Eberflus with his arms crossed across his chest and slouched, and just kind of a bad attitude.
I don't think anyone looks at him as having a bad attitude.
Body language.
Well, excuse me, and I think he did, because if you sit with your arms across your chest, you're being in a defensive posture,
right?
And if your boss is talking to you, then that's bad. They always tell bosses never to put your arms across your chest, because then you're not open to who you're talking to.
Right, you're closed off.
Exactly. And then the other thing that I found, and I saw this early on, when they lost to Notre Dame, and he jumped into the stands and was crying in his mommy's lap.
All right, Frank, or Rich, whatever. All right.
Have you had enough of him?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done with him?
Yeah, I'm done.
You've given him the boot?
You know what?
The gong show? Can we get a gong here for Peggy?
Let's keep up with the storylines and not bring back ancient history. All right. I mean, first of all, I'm glad that from an edited television show that you're able to read someone's body language and say that it's bad body language, when who knows what was going on. You know, maybe they set that meeting up just for the cameras, and Caleb was a little annoyed by it, that he had to sit there and do this for the cameras. Who knows? Who knows?
I think that was a team that was annoyed by it all.
Yeah.
And they still went through the things because the NFL made them do it.
Right.
And we got to see how sensitive Ryan Poles was when he was cutting players. So wonderful. The new NFL.
Yeah. And
so magical.
I'm not
It's
gonna
like Disney World
I'm not
up
gonna
there.
listen anymore to the whole crying into his mommy.
No F-bombs. No F-bombs.
All right,
up
Rich.
there.
Like, sorry.
All right.
Sorry about that. Let's
Where
keep
are we
going
going now?
You call it.
Let's go to Tracy on the south side.
Hello, how you doing?
Great, Tracy. What's going on?
I wanted to talk about the offensive line, and I wanted to talk about Bears coach. I was trying to figure out why he didn't make no moves when they were struggling so bad. How come he didn't bring in other offensive linemen? His backup offensive linemen.
They only have 2 different offensive linemen that were active. They had 7 total active on their game day roster today. And I can promise you the 2 that they've got back there are no big bargain.
Right.
No big bargain. So that's it. They went to war with what they had. Unfortunately, they weren't that good today.
Yeah, they just got to figure it out and come back and fight harder next week.
Yeah, they got to play better, Tracy. That's the simplest way I could put it. They've got to play better.
All right, Tracy, thank you so much. Let's keep going on the phone lines. In Burr Ridge, we find Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hey guys, first of all, the defense, I can't say anything negative against them. They've given up 3 points in the second half in 2 games.
Yep.
They make great adjustments.
Yep.
Something is good there. Why are we not, you can't have all-stars at every position. I get it.
That's true.
And our weakest point, like you guys did a great job tonight saying, is we built from the out, and fine, it's our line. Look at our formations. We have a 5-man line. We don't bring our tight end tight. We don't use the H-back. We're trying to block, all-star defensive ends with a 200-pound running back. Why don't we then help our offensive line in the second half when you see this? Make a little adjustment. Let's get a tight formation or an H-back to at least chip them at the line. Instead, we have 5-on-5 or even let alone 5-on-4. We can't even cover it. We just don't make that second half adjustment on offense. I'm not saying it's going to work, but let's help the line. You can't go get new players right now.
Yep.
So what are we going to do to get another beef on the line to at least slow down that rush?
Steve, thank you. Kerry Blassingame was inactive today.
Inactive.
Also injured. They did have 12 personnel in there at times, but they don't use them on the line.
Gerald Everett. That's their answer. Gerald Everett.
Well, we did see Mercedes Lewis in there in the second half.
And penalty.
And a penalty.
Yeah, penalty.
Exactly.
Right away.
A
Penalty.
costly one.
Yeah.
But that may not have been his fault because they were trying to tell Roma Dunze. There was a lot of pre-snap conversations and motioning to Roma Dunze, who may not have known what he was supposed to be doing on that play. I'm just guessing there because you could see Mercedes was waving to him, and all of a sudden Dunze went in motion. And then all of a sudden,
I know. On the last play, there was a miscommunication between Roma Dunze and the quarterback Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Last play of the game, the Bears had a chance to move the ball downfield, maybe get out of bounds. It looked like he was hoping he was going to run a stop route and a comeback route on a ball that he's trying to maybe throw to a back shoulder or a comeback route. And Dunze just was running, not cognizant of where the football may or may not go, like he wasn't even a part of the plan on that particular play. So, I mean, they've got to get on the same page at some point, which would be nice.
There was some pre-snap penalties issues. It seemed like it was very loud. It was very loud. There was a lot going on between the Caleb Williams breaking the huddle and before they took the snap. So
it's not the first game they're going to play in a loud, enclosed stadium, and it will not be the last.
First time the roof was open. And what did they say? The first time the roof was open at Energy Stadium in 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
So they had the roof open. They had pregame fireworks. They had a halftime show. It was their home opener.
Was Beyonce?
No, but there was
Chance
a country
the Rapper?
singer. No, there was a country singer.
Morgan Wallen? I love Morgan Wallen. Oh, gosh. The guy's great.
No.
How about the ghost of Toby Keith? Was he there?
No.
Playing some of his ditties?
No. There was somebody, I didn't even know who it was. He was on X.
Did you ever hear
the
song?
He was trash talking the Bears.
Was he? You ever hear the song Smoking Weed with Willie?
No.
Oh, that's Toby Keith's favorite. You should sit down and listen to that one day. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to it. But first, let's take a break. You're listening to the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
So you call your virtual insurance company to ask a simple question about your policy, but now you're on hold listening to this music. While you wait and wait. Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and pick up the phone when you call, because you shouldn't be on hold so long that you memorize the music. That's simple human sense.
Ask Fazio Insurance in Joliet if auto owners make sense for you.
Chicagoland, your number one team for luxury is Bill Jacobs Auto Group. We're leading the league with top new car volume for BMW, Land Rover, Mini, and Volkswagen. Discover an experience that matches our winning lineup. Drive home in style and comfort today. At Bill Jacobs, the cars bring you in. The experience brings you back. Year-to-date new car volume for BMW, Land Rover, Mini, and Volkswagen.
Hearing vital organs would be temporarily removed to reach my cancer had me speechless. I'm Jessica, and my team at Northwestern Memorial Hospital coordinated a complex surgery to save my life.
Nationally ranked for cancer by U.S. News and World Report, Jessica's team temporarily removed her liver and kidney to reach the tumor, replace the damaged vein, and eliminate the cancer in her heart.
My team stopped at nothing, and now nothing can stop me.
Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
With 3 locations to serve Chicagoland, Advantage Chevrolet gives you so much more. Visit and see the amazing inventory and savings at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview. And Advantage Chevrolet values your time. They'll have you in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right. Drive off in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they will make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Tito's handmade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. No matter who's on your roster, lineup, or lucky jersey, make Tito's your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul, the system, and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief. When you think beef, think Papa Charlie's, Chicago's favorite Italian beef specialist for 3 decades. It's Chicago's favorite. For your next tailgate, pick up Papa Charlie's Italian beef today at your favorite local Chicagoland retailer. 3 to the left, 2 to the right, rushing the passer, and they're all coming in with a blitz as well. Caleb dancing, retreating, back inside his 25, makes a man miss, spins, stays on his feet, and then finally brought down. Tackled on the play by Houston's Derek Barnett, the former Philadelphia Eagle. Texans lined up across the line of scrimmage, and they are bringing the heat, stepping up into trouble, and down he goes. Caleb Williams is sacked. Mario Edwards Jr. came free.
Bears games, all of them on AM 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app.
Jurko, what's your verdict?
My verdict is the offensive line is guilty of impersonating an offensive line. They have stolen the identities of offensive line, and these individuals that are currently in there right now are not performing at the level they need to be performing at. What's the verdict? Brought to you by the Verdoliak Law Group. $2 million. What are you talking about? The Verdoliak Law Group wins again for the clients. That's right. Verdoliak Law Group recovered $2 million. For a client who was injured in a truck accident, if you are injured, make sure to call the Verdoliak Law Group, 844-4VLG-LAW. Yeah, the offensive linemen, they're guilty.
Impersonation of
an offensive line.
Of
It's
an
guilty.
NFL offensive line.
And hopefully not charged with like a serious battery crime against their quarterback, for not being able to protect them too. Assault and battery are charges that are being considered against each one of those offensive linemen.
Out to Houston we go. Alvin, you're on the postgame show.
Hello.
Hi, Alvin.
Alvin, how are you?
It's fine. I love you guys' show. How you guys doing today?
Thank you. We're having fun, but it'd be funner if the Bears won.
Yeah. But the question I have is, when are we going to start talking about the O-line coach? Seems like for 3 years we had this guy. We have seen no improvement. I know the coach is responsible, but he's the one that kept Simo there, but let everybody else go. It doesn't make sense to me.
I've been talking about him every year because they love Chris Morgan.
Chris Morgan?
Simo.
Who the hell is this guy?
They promoted him. They promoted him this year. I bring it up, Alvin, every time because I don't see what they're seeing.
Well, my thing is, you guys are journalists. You guys know what you guys are doing. I don't see Bears media be like, "Hey, Flus, maybe the online coach is not the right person right now," because he got fired like 2 or 3 places, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, or somewhere else. Would that be more alarming to somebody to bring that up more, big out loud? This is crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, going after position coaches used to be something that happened a lot in the past. Chris Morgan, guys get fired all the time. Ken Wisenhunt was a pretty darn good coach. He got fired in a couple of different places. Dick Duran was fired at a couple of different places. When you don't win games, you end up getting fired. That doesn't mean you're a bad football coach. I think even Shanahan got fired a couple of times. Mike Shanahan, not Kyle Shanahan. And these guys have gone out and won some Super Bowls in the past, too. You get fired every once in a while. Ray Rhodes got fired, and he ended up coming back and coaching the Green Bay Packers. I mean, coaches, you're hired to be fired, but then you've got to be able to go out and find out, okay, who are the good coaches that were in that group? And if you can find the good coaches that are there and bring them onto your staff, and that'll help make your staff stronger. It'll help make your team better.
Chris Morgan, prior
What do
to
we have with
joining
Morgan?
Matt Eberflus's staff, was with the Steelers, then the Falcons for 5 years, the Seahawks for 1, the Commanders for 2, and the Raiders for 1 as well. Or it looks like 2 years there. His promotion came after the Bears' record 2,399 rushing yards.
It was
ranked
all from the quarterback.
Exactly. Ranked second amongst all NFL teams, and they tied for first in big plays rushing again.
Because of the quarterback.
Exactly.
Isn't that the year you rushed for 1,000 yards?
Yeah.
Justin Fields did?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Let's keep going on the phone lines, please. We go out to Isaac. Hello, Isaac.
Hey, good evening.
How are you?
Oh, I watched that game, so
Yeah.
I'm just like you all.
Melancholy. We're melancholy.
We're trying to be
but
patient, Isaac. We were told there were going to be days like this.
Yeah.
And we're trying to be patient because we know that they believe, this coaching staff believes, in getting better each week. The problem is when they get a little bit better, they take one step forward and then 2 steps back.
100% hard agree. You led me right into why I called. So before the season started, I called it a Waddle and Still because they were talking about, like, what do you think the biggest issue might be this season? And the O-line came up, of course, but my biggest issue, and I've been saying this for 2 years, was Matt Eberflus. I don't think he is the coach for this team because this team plays uninspired. I just feel like he's an uninspiring coach. Last week, they came out against Tennessee. They won the game, but they played very uninspired. They play from behind all the time with him. And if you don't think that coaching matters, look at what Jim Harbaugh is doing in LA with a not as good team, I would say, not as good roster. But that team plays inspired. I live out here, so unfortunately I have to watch the Chargers on TV, and they play inspired. So just going forward, Matt Eberflus should be on the hottest of seats because look at the little things, like just like having the team ready, or like why would you challenge that Stephon Diggs catch? That was clearly a catch. These are little things that are problematic, and they're going to continue to spiral when you got a rookie quarterback who is going to struggle. We know that's going to happen, but just don't think he's the person for the job.
Isaac, thank you. I don't think there's going to be pressure on Matt Eberflus from Ryan Poles at all. And we heard Kevin Warren say it last year that they believe in patience, that there's been too much turnover when it comes to head coaching in Chicago.
I think they're in lockstep. Your problem is you had forced turnover at some of the positions last year because the offense had a couple of issues, right? Or is it defensive coordinator? And was it
running backs coach?
Running backs coach, yeah. So you had some turnover last year. You ended up hiring guys kind of in the middle of everything. Listen, it's not that complicated to block on the offensive line. If you can count, to 3 or 4, you're in pretty good shape. It's that simple. What do we have? We've got us 3. Which 3 do we have? We've got these 3. If somebody ends up shifting over to the other side, that means one of us who doesn't have a guy can now step to the left and look the other direction to help those guys that might be overloaded. It's simple. Then you stand in front. You brace yourself. You get your hands out. You move your feet. You block with your feet. But you got to be able to control people with your hands.
Do you remember the old the old store turnstile?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the turnstile?
Yeah, of course I do.
Cole Kmet looked like a turnstile a couple of times when he was blocking.
Remember when he went out? He almost got Caleb Williams killed one time,
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did.
If your job is to go out there and to hit the guy, hit him.
Yeah.
And he had, we call it the lookout block. Where you turn back, you whiffed on the guy, you look back to your quarterback and say, look out. That's the old lookout block right there. That's what he did to him on that play. And then
you saw it, like
Darnell Wright.
That's exactly what he did.
It's like he went there and he's like, oh,
he
no.
He turned around and went,
yeah, look out.
His arm flew up.
Yeah.
And that he was nowhere near him.
Same thing with Darnell Wright. He almost got his quarterback killed today, too.
It's almost like just a domino effect. It's just a domino effect.
Yeah.
It starts getting bad, and they can't stop it. The momentum for the opposing team gets so great that the offensive line just gets worse
Remember,
and worse.
win your home games, split your road games. This team was not going 17-0 this year. They're going to lose a game. And if anybody looked at this schedule, and I didn't look at the Sun-Times today, I didn't look at the Tribune today. I think they're still printing those. Not everything is going completely online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody had the Bears winning today's game.
I don't think so either.
I don't think any pundits anywhere had the Bears winning today's game. So they didn't win today's game, but it's the way they didn't win today's game that's bothersome.
The Colts are already favored next week against the Bears at home, and the Colts are winless through the first 2 weeks of the season. But because they're at home, they're getting 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5, which is probably the right thing. It used to be 3 when you're at home, but 2.5 seems to be the number. But that would kind of lead you to bet the Bears. You know, if you think the Bears are worth anything at all, because 3-point victory or a 3-point loss on a close game, and it's going to be a close game. And the Bears playing against rookie quarterbacks, the Bears have been able to play well against rookie quarterbacks, even though he's in his second year. But he didn't play a ton last year.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't have 16 games or 17 games under his belt, I still consider him somewhat of a rookie quarterback.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I believe we will open phone lines for our advantage player or our advantage of the game. If you remember what Jurko and I said was the advantage of the game, 312-332-3776. Now is your opportunity to call in and get your name in the hopper for that car. We'll be right back.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Ever heard the saying, football and fireball go hand in hand? No? Football and fireball go hand in hand. Now you've heard it right here. And if you've experienced Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, it is clear that it is the best way to celebrate every big run, every long catch, and of course, every TD. So when planning your tailgate or watch party, you gotta include the #1 game day shot, Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey burns like hell, tastes like heaven. Acura is a leader in reliability and style. Drive home in your new Acura from Advantage Acura of Naperville. With more selection to choose from and more savings, they're committed to providing a smooth and easy car buying process. Advantage Acura values your time. They'll have you in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right, drive off in your new Acura in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageAcura.com or see them in Naperville.
Most mentioned offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Is the sauce ready, Chef?
Yes, Chef. Almost, Chef.
Ah! Oh, no!
Running a commercial business comes with risk. When the unexpected happens, you need a partner by your side to manage it. Ings Insurance Agency can help you protect your dream of owning and running a business. Meet with Ings and they will listen and learn about what keeps you up nights and help you handle the risks. IngsInsurance.com. Let them help make risks bearable.
Hi, this is Dave Musil, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons,
Call 8664 Seasons.
If you've been seriously injured at work, in a car accident, or on a construction site, you may not know where to turn. I'm Jim Morisi, Chicago personal injury lawyer and the managing partner of Morisi Longo and Associates. We are the ones you need to call when you've been injured, the ones who gather the evidence and deal with the insurance companies. So here's the information to keep by your side. Our number is 312-372-9600, and our website is moricilongo.com, MORICILONGO.com.
I never knew owning a gourmet Italian pasta business could be this profitable.
Thanks to our Old National commercial banker.
That warehouse expansion loan?
Oh, and the help with our equipment leasing.
But still, gotta say, it seems like he loves the Italian pasta business more than we do.
La nuova attrezzatura ha reso il processo molto più efficiente. I mean, the new equipment, it makes it so much more efficient.
Really dedicated commercial bankers.
Sorry, got a little carried away there.
Another reason to choose Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
Dear Spotlights, Toyota has more all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles than any other brand. Find yours and shine on. Toyota, let's go places.
One back and under center Stroud. Dell in motion. And here comes Kyler Gordon. He got a foot and he puts him down to the 28-yard line. They saw it many times already today. This time Tank Dell had no help, no blocking, and Kyler Gordon blows up the play.
Peggy and Jurko postgame, ESPN Chicago.
It's time to call in with the advantage of the game. Jurko and I talked about it earlier, what we thought was the Bears' advantage in this game. If you remember what that was, give us a call at 312-332-3776. If you are the right caller, you will get your name put in the hopper for the new car to be given away at the end of the season. Well, the good news for the Bears is the defense continues to look good. The defense continues to shine in this. They held the Texans to just 3 points in the second half, and that is now just 3 points allowed in the second half through the first 2 weeks of the season for the Bears defense, and that's the fewest in the NFL. So the defense is off to a good start. It's the offense that is slowing it down.
Sputtering.
It is sputtering.
It is
for
sputtering.
Sure. And the offensive line will not have a good time in their meetings this week when they report back to work. I believe because they're getting back late today, they will just have films tomorrow and then practice on Wednesday. So they prepare then for the Indianapolis Colts, who are winless, and the Colts will be playing at Lucas Oil Stadium at 12 o'clock game next week against the Bears. Anthony Richardson could be prime for the picking with this Bears defense.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Prime for the picking. That's exactly what we want. Young guy where Eberflus is going to be able to go in there as a coordinator and hopefully confuse him a little bit and let Montez Sweat and the fellas get after him a little bit. That's what I want to see. That's what I like. Force the guy to move to his left. Maybe want to tuck it down. Find a way to strip, punch the ball out. I saw a lot of punching in the football out today. Only happened one time.
There was one time Kyler Gordon was punching at it.
Yeah.
Like he was.
It looked like he was taking a swing at the guy.
It did. But you had to see that from the other's angle. He was trying to punch the ball out.
I'm glad it wasn't misconstrued as
right.
Trying to take a shot at a guy. So that's not a bad thing. You know, a good thing for the Bears is that they're conscious of the fact that they want to force a turnover. But you definitely don't want to get called for something goofy someday because somebody thinks you're doing something.
Yeah.
You're taking liberties with a player.
The Bears have now lost 10 straight Sunday night football games on the road dating back to 2014. They've lost 8 straight on Sunday night. The Texans, meanwhile, win their first Sunday night football game in 5 years. It had been so long since they had played on Sunday nights that in the Texas media in Houston, they were keeping a count of how many days, and it got to over 1,700 days. So they made it a party in Houston.
Well, I'm sure they did. And then the team made it a party for themselves, too. And then the defensive line had a party. And the piñata, unfortunately, was Caleb Williams.
You know, to keep it right here on your flagship station for Chicago Bears, ESPN 1000, also the ESPN Chicago app. You can also check us out on Twitch, ESPN Chicago, throughout the week for all the latest on the Chicago Bears leading up to next week's game at Lucas Oil Stadium. In the meantime, our thanks go out to executive producer Eric Ostrowski, Kendra Smith, and Kevin Zepak, our broadcast crew, Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer, and Jason McKee. Our thanks to head coach Matt Eberflus and Caleb Williams for their post-game interviews. The Bears' next game is Sunday, 12 o'clock against the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. For Jurko, I'm Peggy. You've been listening to the Great Clips post-game show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
UI Health believes everyone deserves exceptional care. Their